Looking at the commodity space, the big mover recently has been gold. We've seen a massive deterioration in terms of gold prices, and that's really been in line with the fact that we've seen this big surge towards sort of riskier assets. We've seen the likes of sort of treasury yields rising heavily. We've seen the likes of indices really spiking higher and clearing out some major resistance points. So we're going to start off with gold, and we have finally seen a couple of people come in and actually start to buy it up. And whether this is going to last or not, that's the question. So this is the daily time frame. Most notably, we cleared out that 1205 support level temporarily. We didn't manage to close below that. So that could be a sign that we could be bottoming out here. You can see we've got that little doji candlestick yesterday. Now we have seen, if we take it into the hourly time frame, we have seen some upside this morning. You can see we've got this creation of the higher high. We've got the 61.8, which so far has provided the backstop really to any rise in terms of gold. But the key here is that we are essentially, yes, we're seeing a zigzag sort of move, but we are still, in my mind, retracing this move that we saw on Friday, that big sell-off on Friday. And therefore, unless we clear out and get an hourly close up above 1224, I remain bearish. And therefore, it's a case of looking for a good pullback. If we see another bottom here and we push back up to that 76.4, so around about 1218, that'd be a good area in my mind to be going short for a move back down towards sort of 1200 kind of mark and put my stops up above 1225 or alike. So I'd be more inclined to be shorting it. Yes, we're seeing some sort of bounce, but I don't think I'm going to be too carried away with the fact that we're seeing that at the moment. The selling that we've been seeing of late has been incredible, and we're coming back into that 50-hour SMA, and every time, it doesn't necessarily sell off straight away on it, but every time it comes into this region, it largely is sort of overbought, and then we tend to see a move lower. Are we going to see the same kind of thing? Well, if we do see a rally back into the 61.8 or 76.4, I'd be more inclined to sell it rather than buy it, despite the fact that we're seeing some strength at the beginning of trade today. Finally, looking at what's happening in terms of oil, this is an interesting market. We have seen, if we take it onto the 4-hour chart, we can see that we're clearly within an uptrend. It's largely can be relatively choppy. You sometimes get decent pullbacks, but they always seem to resolve with a move towards the upside and the creation of a new high. Now, if we look, if I take off this fib, if we look at what's been happening recently, and I'll show you on the hourly time frame, we can see that we created that new high, then since then we've pulled back and we keep respecting this trend line. We've got this ascending trend line come in play. Now, the crucial thing to note here is that in the sort of shorter term time frame, we've bounced off this trend line, so we're creating higher lows. We're also now creating higher highs once more, despite the fact that we dropped below there and created that lower high. So we're now gradually grinding higher once more. But price action has fell this morning and it's come in to this cluster of support. We've got the 61.8 coinciding with the 50 and the 100 SMA and this ascending trend line. And you've got a doji posted there. That is very bullish, this big convergence of support levels, and therefore I'm bullish. If we get a close below this 49.53, then that would be a big warning sign. We would have had to clear out all of that on the way there. So if we get a close below that, it starts to look a little bit more bearish. But until that happens, I'm bullish. I think we're going to get back towards 50.42 today, and then the next major resistance point above that is 50.88, which is that previous high on the 26th. But this is a big, important cluster of support, and I think it should hold for another move towards the upside for Brent crude.